What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trading game collection. You can check out the series playlist linked down below. But without any further ado, let's get into today's first pickup. And of course, it's a Vinted pickup. I do actually have two Vinted pickups to show you. I'll show you the second one in a little bit. That's a little bit more impressive, but this one is the one I actually want to play the most. Cost me just over £8. That's including the postage and the fee and the actual price of the item. And it's sealed as well. It is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I have no idea how this is going to play on the Switch, but I've been dying to play a Need for Speed game for quite a while. I haven't gone through this in quite a long time, and like I said, I've got no idea how it's going to play on the Switch, but for £8, I could not pass this up. I've looked at it many a time in CEX, and I've been tempted to pull the trigger, but they just have it a little bit too high for me, and I see it all the time on Vinted, sometimes on Facebook Marketplace, a lot cheaper. £8, just over, sealed. Next up, I have some boot sale footage to show you. Now, this boot sale footage is a little bit frustrating because most of, if not all of the things I've picked up today, I managed to miss. I actually filmed one pretty long segment of me looking through some guys' games. There was a special edition in there, and I'll show you that in just a second. And I was filming it all. And when I went to walk away, I went to stop the recording and ended up starting the recording, which means, yes, you've guessed it, I wasn't recording. Get to that in just a second. These pickups, though, these are not video game related, kind of. They are collectible related. And people do sometimes have a go at me in the comments, oh, it's not video game related, you can't count that. But this is my journey. This isn't a challenge or anything. I'm not doing this just for content purposes. This is just what I do. And I'm buying and selling the odd thing here or there to be able to pay for this. We do need to get some more money back into the series. It is dwindling. So I have some experience with Lego. Not a lot of experience. I couldn't name any single set off the top of my head, but I have bought and sold Lego in the past, and I know that if it's sealed, chances are it's going to be worth some money. I'll probably give you a close-up because it's going to be very difficult to see these, but they are a little bit dirty, won't lie to you. This is Toy Story. Now, it has Lotso, Jessie, and some sort of bug. I think there's like a Buzz thing in there as well. I don't quite understand this, to be fair, because the Buzz thing isn't a complete Buzz. It's got like one wing, his head, and a few other things in there as well. So I'm not really sure about that one. And then the second set, right there, is Bullseye, Woody, Jessie, and I think Stinky Pete, if that's his name. It's just his head though, no body, so I don't really understand that. I did originally have them listed for about £100 each, and I've just come down and down and down over the last week or two just to try and get them gone, because I do need to try and get some money back into the series. I know you're thinking starting at 100 you were never going to get that, but I know that. I was trying to get an offer. So if something's up there for, I don't know, £100 and someone sends an offer of 50, they might be thinking, well, I'm going to get this at half the price. That's a bargain. But for me, I would have been happy to take it. So I will eventually get this money into the series. It's just a question of how long I have to wait to get it. But we are going to add around £25 a piece after fees and the amount that we've taken out for. So we're putting around £50 back into the series. I'm going to look to sell them for about 30, 32 each. And then we'll have to take the fees and everything out of it. But yeah, about £25 a piece. Not bad. The next two pickups are actually going to be games that I'm going to take straight to CEX. That is right, we are going to go to CEX today, because not only do I find a couple of things in the boot sale worth trading, but I also have a stack of games that I still need to trade in. We'll get to that in just a second, but the first pickup is going to be nothing special, unfortunately. Even though it kind of looks impressive, it's Doom on the PS4. You would fully expect this to trade in for more than £1.60. However, it trades in for, well, £1.60. And normally I would leave this because of course we already own it. I bought it a while ago in CEX, but when I asked the price, she said 50p. Now she did have another game there, but I'm pretty sure it was Destiny. I have no interest in that whatsoever. So for 50p, I picked up Doom. The next game I picked up to trade into CEX was one that has been sat on this table, I would imagine, for at least an hour, hour and a half, and it's because people don't really look at sports games. There's no wonder it was still there though, because this is NBA 2K21 on the PS4. Sports games notoriously devalue very, very quickly as soon as the new one comes out, or even if you get close to the new one coming out. So people have just glanced at this and thought, sports game, keep going. I looked at it because I thought, well, if it's 50p or it's £1, then I'm going to dive on this because I know it's about a £4 trade. We're not making millions here, but every little helps. So I asked how much. She said £2. I said, would you take £1? And she said yes. So £1 into 4, I've turned 50p into £1.60. So we've got a decent, I say decent, we've got some CEX credit. But as I mentioned, we do have some games to trade in that I picked up a while ago. And I say a while ago, this was a long time ago. This was back at the very same boot sale where I picked up, was it 20 games for £10 or something of that nature. We'll go there and spend the credit in just a second, but something that you don't often see in a boot sale, a non-video game seller at the boot sale was selling Mega Drive games. What I mean by non-video game seller is this person was selling a little bit of everything and they weren't specifically a video game vendor. I see a fair few Mega Drive games at boot sales quite regularly, but they are sold by people who are obviously traders and they buy and sell a lot of video games. So to see a very small table with a couple of Mega Drive games dotted around, I got quite excited, but I was wondering, well, why are they still there? So having looked at the prices, they weren't ridiculously overpriced or anything, but they were pretty much bang on value. There were a couple of Power A controllers that didn't have prices on. I was tempted to ask, but I couldn't really be bothered. Micro Machines 2 is tempting, but they do actually have that in my local CEX, so if I want to pick that up, I'll probably just use credit. RoboCop versus Terminator was adequately priced. We had the rest, and of course I don't collect for Master System yet anyway, although I probably won't, to be fair, but you never know. Then before we get to CEX, I have some more pickups from the boot sale to show you. I do have me going through a few piles here or there, and some of the games that I actually pick up are in these piles, although I don't pick them up from these people. Very confusing, but basically this is the small stack of games I picked up that I thought I was recording and I wasn't. The guy thought I was weird enough as it was anyway, and then when I walked away I found out that I weirded him out for absolutely no reason whatsoever because I wasn't recording. But there was one game in particular here that I was really excited to pick up because it's not a game that I see very often. Turns out it does actually have a little bit of value to it, and it was only £1. So a very, I would say, small fail on two of these, kind of, but not really. So the first game I picked up is actually a Call of Duty game. It is Modern Warfare 2 on the PlayStation 3. Now I kind of want to collect these on the Xbox 360, so I may end up double dipping because I played them on the 360 originally. However, and I've mentioned it before, I do have my PlayStation 3 hooked up to my very small CRT TV, and it has a little charm to it, and I kind of want to play this on that, so I'm just going to keep it 50 pence. I kind of thought I would get a little bit more on trade, but apparently not. Next is going to be another Call of Duty, and the final one, don't worry, it's going to be the first Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This is the Game of the Year edition, so if you are going to own one, it would be the Game of the Year, although I don't know if this actually adds anything to the story. I don't know if is the multiplayer still going? I wouldn't have thought so. It does say free 4 new multiplayer maps. Like I said, I don't know if it's still on or not, but looking forward to playing through that again. I did enjoy the single player campaign. This next game I didn't actually buy from the same person. I actually found another stall who was selling only video games. They had stacks and stacks of video games. I'd never seen them there before. A couple of pasting tables that were falling apart. No organisation, just loads of stacks. All individually priced as well, which was a little bit frustrating. This one though, this one was a game that had a sticker on, didn't have a price on it though, and I was always going to keep it. I have fond memories of this game. This is F1 Championship Edition. This was the very first F1 game that came out on the PS3. The graphics blew my mind. I would imagine they still kind of hold up today. And like I said, I'm going to be playing this on the CRT. It just adds a certain charm. Trust me, if you haven't tried it, try it. Then we get to the game that I knew had a little bit of value. I don't think it's crazy value. I may be able to sell this for between 8 and 10 on eBay. I'm not sure how much CEX sell it for. It is Ace Combat Assault Horizon. Like I said, it is the limited edition. This was in really nice condition. It was in a box, of course, and it just stood out to me. And I'm not a huge fan of Ace Combat games. I have played them. It was a game that I thought, well, if it's worth a fair bit, I'm happy to sell it. If it's only worth a couple of quid, and I've got a decent deal out of it, then I'm happy to keep it. It's one of those. Yeah, I could trade it, I think, for £4. I paid £1 for this. The other games were 50p each on the store. This was £1 because obviously it looks a little bit more impressive, so you wanted that extra 50 pence. So not too bad on the PlayStation 3 front. We're building that collection back up again now, which is decent. And we've got a decent little game to add to it as well. I'm really happy about that one. So in CEX then, I took that stack of games, you know, Clash of Titans, GeForce and all those, and I also picked up NBA in the boot sale, as well as something else that I've just mentioned, Doom. That was it. Not a big amount of profit on those, but we're going to make some cash on the Lego, which is nice because we do need to get that back into the series. And we're also going to be able to add a little bit more credit to the stack that we already had. I've been waiting so long to trade these in. Some of them have actually gone down in value, which is a shame, but I do have the receipt here. The amount of credit that we're going to get today is £23.60. Still got £1 each for Assassin's Creed Rogue, which I'm kind of happy about because I did end up buying 2 of those based on the fact that it traded in for £1. And I think GeForce has come down as well. Oh, and the other one, Victorious Hollywood Arts debut on the DS, that was trading for £1.20. That's why I picked it up in the first place. It cost me 50 pence. It only traded for 60. I was a bit disappointed by that when I looked it up. But there we are, 23.60 to spend in CEX. And you know what we're going to do? We don't build credit here. We spend it. Now, there was one game in particular that I wanted. I'm going to overpay for this because I absolutely 100% know I can get this cheaper on Facebook if I just be a little bit patient and wait for someone to post it, because you can probably get it on Vinted a lot cheaper as well. But I wanted to play it there and then because I'm on a bit of a kick around this genre, shall we say, at the moment. The game in question is Call of Duty World War II. Now, I have this on the Xbox, but as I've previously mentioned, my Xbox is upstairs. Could take it downstairs, to be fair. You are right. But my Xbox is upstairs, and I want to play it in the night. I want to give it a good go on the single-player campaign, and I wouldn't mind having a little go of the multiplayer as well. So I picked it up on the PS4 because my PlayStation 5 is downstairs. This is £6 in CEX. It may have gone up or down since I bought it, because I did buy this well over a week or 2 ago now. Maybe 2, 3 weeks? I don't know. It's been a long time. However, I've been playing through it and I've been really, really enjoying it. Side note, I actually watched Overlord last night. That is a pretty damn good film. It took me that long to watch it. Picked that up a long time ago on 4K. But yeah, I just had a real urge to play this. So £6 of the credit is going to go on that game. And yeah, it is in the console because I've been playing through it. I never normally get influenced by my wife when it comes to playing video games. However, she has a certain, I don't know what it is. She loves a certain game. She's never played it. She's never seen anything of it. She knows absolutely nothing about it. But for some reason, every time she sees the characters from this game, she goes over to them. If she sees them in like Funko Pop form or anything, she'll pick it up, she'll look at them, and she'll always go, oh, I really like that. That's really cool. There is a film coming out at the end of the year. It is Five Nights at Freddy's. I think this is Help Wanted on the Switch. This is £15. I bought this purely because she said she wanted me to buy it. I never normally do that. In fact, I don't think I've ever done that. However, to be fair, to her credit, she has played this and she said that it was pretty good, although she did admit that she wasn't very good at it. This is very Willy's Wonderland-esque, if you know what that is. It's one of the best Nicolas Cage films I've seen in a long time, although that one with Pedro Pascal is very, very good as well. I think I've seen that like 3 times. I don't know what it is about it. It just makes me laugh every single time. But yeah, I think I probably will enjoy this. I haven't played this yet, but I probably will get to it. I don't know if this is the best one to start with, to be honest, but for £15 it was the cheapest one I could have started with, so that's why I picked it up. Recently I've spoken about not buying brand new games, and there is a reason for that, and it's because people will eventually get bored of the game that they've paid £60 for and sell it on Vinted, and that's exactly what's happened here, although I would be very surprised if they paid £60 for this, and to be fair, yes, I've had to wait a while because this came out a while ago. This is one of those very few games I nearly caved on buying, and to be fair, I don't even know why. So I was going around Game a lot of the time. I can't remember when it was, but I saw it on the end aisles, new release, blah, 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 and I very nearly bought it quite a few times. It is Nintendo Switch Sports. Now, this is the boxed version. It's not just the game. This is the concern I have with things like this if you buy them in CEX. I think the value on this in CEX is around £35. How much I paid will not surprise you because I'm pretty good at getting good deals on Vinted, although this was again bought a while ago and I've not found anything since, unfortunately. Nothing I've been quick enough to get anyway. But the thing with buying this in CEX is it probably won't come with the box. And you probably won't get the sweaty leg strap with it as well. I say sweaty, this is clearly brand new. And of course we have the game as well. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to buy it in CEX. The other reason is they charge a lot of money for this. I don't know if this is actually any good. I have seen gameplay from it and I have seen people play and it looks relatively enjoyable for a Wii Sports game. But I've something that I've wanted in the collection. And of course it is a first party title, so you kind of need to have it. The box is a little bit battered, unfortunately, but when it's on its side you won't really be able to tell. But the price is one of the reasons why I bought it. This was around £11.24 or something if you include the fee, and that includes postage as well. Vinted do this really weird thing, and this is a pro tip. Now, I don't know if this is an official line or whether they even mention this anyway, but it's something that I've definitely noticed dotted around the place. The first time someone with no feedback sells something, you get free postage. I don't know whether the seller knows this or not, but it happens more often than not when I'm looking through people with no feedback. So some decent value going into today's episode. We're adding 3 Switch games, quite a sizable amount of PlayStation 3 games, some cash going into the series as well. Not a bad day. I will try my very best to get out another episode soon, but at the moment I don't have any footage backlogged. There will be a game room tour very soon as well. All my sponsorships have aligned and I just need to record it now, so look out for that. In the meantime, I will be posting some other content as well, and if you want to check out one of those videos, you can click here, and until the next time, goodbye.